grew up in the United States. So, as Tito Virgil said, I grew up as a pastor's kid. What this means is that I grew up learning about different Bible stories. I grew up learning different Sunday school songs, as many of you young ones are learning today. And I learned about this man named Jesus who loved us and died for us. But yet, he didn't really mean anything to me. I knew about this man, but he wasn't really important, and I didn't really understand why he was in my life to begin with. I just know that he was there. Now, being a pastor's kid is a little different from not being a pastor's kid. And the reason why is because our parents expect a lot out of us. And our friends expect a lot out of us also. So many times, people would ask me, "Hey, Joan, you're a Christian. Aren't you not supposed to curse?" Or, "Hey, Joan, you're a Christian. Aren't you supposed to be so holy or so perfect?" So because people kept saying that to me, I became who they told me to be. I became that perfect child that people said I was, and I became the perfect friend to my friends. But even though that was all good, slowly over time, I started to put a wall up. I also started to put a mask over my face, and I didn't really want to let other people know about my problems, because when people look at me, they just think of me as a happy girl. And it was kind of frustrating because I thought that nobody understood me. So I was kind of upset because I wanted more to life. I knew that there was so much more to life than what we are today. But how come I wasn't living it? How come I was always settling for less and always being a fake person because I always had to please people? But over time I realized that there was this man named Jesus. He really loved us and died for us, and as long as I had received him into my life, I would be transformed and renewed. So when I was 16, which was 2005, I had a friend who I used to consider a loser. He was 1 year younger than me, and he used to smoke, he used to drink, and he used to talk to me because he thought I was cool. But I didn't really care about that. But one day when he was talking to me on Yahoo Chat, he was like, "Joan, do you still go to church?" And I told him, "No, at that time I'm not going to church because I was working a lot and working for money. And I was working at Dunkin' Donuts." So you guys don't know what Dunkin' Donuts is? Yeah, right? So I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and I didn't have time for church. I was just going to school, hanging out with my friends, and then going to work. But my friend Chunkit invited me. Because I used to think he was a loser, I was curious to why he started going to church to begin with. He said that his life was transformed, and he said that he didn't do the things he used to do again. So I was curious, and I decided to meet him up one day. In the United States, a popular place to meet up is Burger King. So I met him at Burger King, and then we started walking to church. And we were walking and walking and walking, and then all of a sudden we got to a darker and darker place. There were no lights, and I was very confused. I was like, "Friend, where are you bringing me?" But we kept walking and walking, and then in the United States, there are a lot of tall buildings, and there are a lot of commercial buildings and warehouses. So he brought me in front of a commercial building. It was very dark. It doesn't look like a church at all. But I just followed him anyway. So I walked in with him, and then we went up the stairs. It was very weird. But then I saw a circle of people praying. So I decided to do what they did. At that time, I didn't pray for a while because I was working. But the second I entered into the church, and the second I knelt down and prayed just as everyone else did, I felt a relief that came off my chest. I felt a burden that just dropped for some reason, and I didn't know why. So as time went on, I continued to start going to church. I wanted to know more about this Jesus who can free me from my wall and who can free me from that mask I was putting on my face all the time because I was pleasing people. And so one day, Pastor Jay, who is sitting right here, decided to invite me to this program called the Discipleship Training Program. I wanted to go, and it was kind of nerve-wracking because what Pastor Jay told us was that this program is 32 weeks long. Whenever we come late, we have to pay money. Whenever we don't do our homework, we have to do sit-ups and push-ups. It kind of seems scary, but for some reason I was excited to go. And at that time, I was also working, so I didn't have time to go. But I decided, why not? I have nothing to lose. I don't really like my job at Dunkin' Donuts anyway, so I'll give this discipleship training program a try. I went, I met a lot of people, a couple which are here today, which is Pastor Sang, and I learned to develop a relationship with God. I did not only learn knowledge and facts about who Jesus was and who God was, but I learned that relationship and how important it is to develop that relationship that Jesus Christ is my Father, He is my Savior, and He is my Lord. It's been 5 years now, and I can say that ever since I committed my life to Him, everything has changed. I'm slowly learning how to put down that wall that I created by myself, and being free in Jesus Christ, and living my life to my fullest potential. I just graduated from college with a marketing degree. Right now, I don't really know what I want to do with my life yet in terms of getting a career, but I know that God has a plan for me because I allowed Him to be my Lord, and that He will guide me through my ways. And as long as I trust in Him, everything will be fine. So tonight I'm here to encourage you that if you still haven't received Jesus in your heart today, give Him a try. He asks us to come as we are, whether we're dirty, whether we've had a lot of trouble in our past. He tells us to come. And once we come, we will always leave transformed. So this is my story. Thank you for letting me share it with you. And I really hope that you would receive Jesus into your heart today. Thank you.